You're making history. You're the first, I wish the senator from Idaho could hear this, you are the first nominee for a vacancy on the Supreme Court to be considered after July 1st of the election year. In fact, you're the first nominee to ever be considered in the midst of an election. I don't know if that has ever happened before. It certainly hasn't in modern history. And the obvious question is why? What's the hurry? Why couldn't we wait till the end of November or December or even January after leaving a vacancy on the court for 10 months after Anton Scalia's passing? Well, because there is a political agenda here. And whether you are privy to it, part of it, notwithstanding, it has to do with the Affordable Care Act. November 10th is the absolute date they have to fill the vacancy if the president and those who support him and those who support the Republican platform are going to keep their promise to end the Affordable Care Act. They need that ninth justice, and that's why it has to be hurried. Unfortunately, that is the cloud, the orange cloud over your nomination as it comes before us here in the Senate Judiciary Committee. And it raises many questions. I'd like to confine my first part of these questions to what's going on across America as we meet here today. There's an election going on. People are trying to vote. And there are a lot of issues out there that are being debated and somewhat resolved or unresolved every single day. The president continues to lie about paper ballots, saying that they are fraudulent, people shouldn't use them. There's still long lines, unforgivably long lines, for people who just want to exercise their right to vote, the governed who want to give their consent, Senator Cornyn. There's a battle royal over the Postal Service and whether it's going to be implicated in some effort to slow down or stop ballots from being delivered. One ballot collection box in Harris County, Texas, for more than 4 million people, one box. It's pretty clear what's going on here. It's an effort to make it difficult to vote, even for those who are legally entitled. Historically, the Republican Party is starting using a tactic of discouraging voters. We've seen this, making it more difficult, reducing the period of time that people can vote early, requiring IDs even if there's no evidence of fraud, purging the rolls of names. This is all going on. So I want to confine my questions at the outset here on the question of voting. And let me start with what many people read this morning, and I did, which was a summary of one of the exchanges yesterday here in the committee. It was Senator Feinstein, who said President Trump made claims of voter fraud and suggested he wanted to delay the upcoming election. Senator Feinstein then asked you, does the Constitution give the President of the United States the authority, listen closely to what she asked you, to unilaterally delay a general election under any circumstances? Does federal law? Your answer, well, Senator, if that question ever came before me, I would need to hear arguments from the litigants, read briefs and consult with my law clerks, talk to my colleagues, go through the opinion writing process. You went on to say you didn't want to give off-the-cuff answers like a pundit, but rather approach matters with an open mind. Is that still your response?
Senator, I've given that response to every hypothetical that I've been asked in the hearings. And as I said yesterday, I do that regardless whether it's easy or hard. I don't do that to try to, whether the question, would be easy or hard. I don't try to do that to signal it, but I do that because it would be inappropriate for me to make a comment. And I don't think I've answered any legal hypotheticals in keeping with the Justice Ginsburg rule.